Hello everyone, welcome back to What If Deku was made of ink. Or What If Deku was bendy, practically. But I like having original titles. So, yeah. Back from where I left off, I believe Deku, or Bendy in this scenario, was created by being accidentally pushed in by I can't Cecilia, I believe. I think that's why I named her. Yeah, Cecilia. Yeah. Sammy was watching, frightened of what happened. Oh yeah, everyone's just watching Deck, I guess Bendy now. I gotta call him Bendy now. So everyone's just seeing Bendy. Let's say it's like a mix between the Inklings you usually see in the game. Just a little bit low. Like a bit like this almost. Like this one. So yeah. It'll be a little bit like that. Through secrets and whatnot. Anyways, yeah, it basically look like that. As you know, Bendy is forming into, the character. As you know, people are confused, scared, and like just a bit of emotions just everywhere. As Deku is just like, what am I? Who am I? Why can't I remember anything? Yeah, practically. So, who am I? Who are you all? As he's starting to feel threatened, so that part of, Deku or, evil Bendy starts to come out. As half of Deku's face is, covered in ink. Creating, this right here practically. As ink is dripping. Drip, 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 drip. Yeah. So yes, anyways. What would happen is that Deku he wouldn't attack anyone, but he'll more on the lines disappear into a puddle. Like he'll like teleportation almost. Like the blood mist Deku, how he can teleport using, his blood, but instead of blood in this case it's ink. So yeah. He just, disappears into an ink puddle. As practically Joey Drew and Sammy, Cecilia, everyone is just, what? We need to find him or we can get into trouble with reasons. So they try to find Bendy. They eventually find him in a room full of artwork. Which this will be his, I guess this will be his art studio. Like this room would be his art room that he will create all his characters at. As there will be many characters all over the walls and whatnot. To Boris, to Alice, to Sam's character, to just everyone's character. Like he has like just a row of characters practically. But they're unfinished. At least, the other characters all the way up to Sammy aren't finished. Sammy's somewhat unfinished. But, I mean, it's almost finished. Like, just need just a name and other things. But, I mean, we just Sammy. Because, I mean, that's what they call him in the game. So, I mean, yeah. He's going to keep the name and whatnot. And practically what would happen next is that Deku would be in a more of a memory fight as his memories disappear forever. Oh, just letting you all know, right after this I'll be putting either what was it? I had it on my phone, what was it? I was either gonna do the Yeah, after this one's gonna be the hollow Deku. What if Deku was a hollow? Or what if Deku... Yeah, what if Deku was a hollow project, yeah. What if Deku was a hollow? Will be right after this. And right after what if Deku was a hollow, there would be... What if Deku was a glitch part 4? And I'm going, in order, practically. So yeah. I got a lot of things to do. Especially got at least 2 more videos today. So yes, as you know, I guess Alice Angel would come, or Cecilia would be, I guess Cecilia would jump overnight, as Alice Angel will be formed. Because let's say she just stole it from the studios, as they contained the Bendy, I guess, somehow into a room. And, I guess they're like trapped in the studio where they have all those Bendy cutouts in like the demo of the game. Yeah, he'll be there. So yeah, they'll lock him to there and they can see him through the glass up on top. So yeah, as he's scared, not just scared, but he's trying to reform himself. So ink is still dripping, but slowly but surely his body starts to mold into the Bendy character. As reasonings, plot convenience. As yeah. Anyway, besides that, Alice Angel will be formed, and like her canon counterpart, she would have a half a face until a couple days will roll by. And due to Alice only having half a face, it doesn't take as long as Deku's entire transformation to normal Bendy. So her other part of her face, so form turning into a whole face. So yeah. And what would happen now is that Alice would try to talk to Deku or Bendy, but Sam would interfere as Bendy would feel something. He doesn't know what, but he feels comfortable with those two. One for, he's created from the writing and, characteristics and all of the, details of, Deku's books. Same with, he has both books, both the Bendy books. So one of the books likes Alice and the other books like Sammy, so yeah. That's practically how it's gonna be. Kind of a two-way ship, so yeah. Depending on what y'all want, I guess. So yeah. So Deku would get conflicted emotions upon this, as he would not disappear, but more in the lines of not shut down, but kind of, I don't know, I guess he'd be in like a frozen state, a frozen-like state. As when they try to touch him, nothing happens. He's just frozen, I guess. For some reason. He would just freeze. Not freeze, but he'd be stuck in... What he would be is he would be in his mindscape looking as his memories are, being erased. But right on time, some of the memories will be kept. So yeah, like the cherished memories, like the less important ones will be erased, and the most important memories wouldn't be erased, kind of way. So kind of like useless memories will be taken away, kind of like memories that are cherished by the host will be kept, kind of. So yeah. But they'll be locked away though. They'll be like deep inside his mind, so yeah. He wouldn't be able to like find his memories or remember anything until stuff's already happening. So yeah. And I believe I did give a hint last video on Hollow Deku. Before I made Hollow Deku, I did give a hint as something was missing. So yeah, anyways, as they'll try to manipulate Deku into performing for, they'll give him scripts to say and whatnot, trying to, make him into practical, animatronic practically, but, alive, I guess. So, eventually, they'll push in, Sammy, because I feel like Alice would be do or Cecilia would do it willingly. Sammy would be pushed in, purposely, as I guess they just had like some type of wolf plush or something, and just threw it in the machine, creating. I don't actually know, because I'm pretty sure all the original people have souls. So like Sammy, Alice, Boris. All like the main four will have all souls. They will all have souls. So yeah, I can't make it just a random thing. So I'll say one of the other coworkers that was about to. I'll say one of the other coworkers wanted to find out what would happen, and accidentally fell into the machine, trying to figure out like how to tamper with the machine, but accidentally fell in. So yeah, kind of like fixing the machine, kind of, but not really. So yeah. Anyways, what would happen is that, as in canon, Alice will be called, all that. Everyone will have their titles. Bendy the Dancing Demon, Boris the Wolf, and whatnot. Everyone will gain their titles. And so on. So, everything will go fine. And so they found out that one of their things aren't doing so good. One of their characters isn't doing so good. Like, their character is trying to fit in, but not. But I mean, since it is written that Boris is Bendy's best friend, so let's say Boris is the smart one, and they're figuring out what they're trying to do, and they're trying to fix the machine so they can make more versions of themselves. As he doesn't like this. He doesn't want to be replaced. So he tries to call up Bendy, because I'm pretty sure Bendy will be the main star. So yeah, he'll try to call Bendy, but Boris will be stopped by everyone, and Boris would as in canon in the game, he'll be opened up to get resources, like I guess what would be in Boris, I guess like gears and whatnot. Just they'll open up him like in the video game, how he had to, like, his corpse just opened up. So that would be Boris right now, and that's when Deku starts to get a weird feeling, like something's missing. And so he'll try to look for Boris, or he'll just walk around, and he wants to hang out with his best friend practically. So he's looking for Boris. Let's say Alice does notice that Bendy spends more time with Boris than with her. So Alice would try to make Deku avoid everything that has to deal with Boris, but he'll get agitated, annoyed. So let's say they're not fighting, but let's say they're in the room where they hid Boris's body behind like a wall or something. Actually, not a wall, but it's like kind of like a thing where it's like a hidden thing where when you press a certain thing or something happens, it comes out the wall, kind of like a fashion thing, how like a walkway will come out, and then Boris's body will come out as well, and like the kind of like the Frankenstein type-esque in the video game. I was on the thingamabob. So let's say they're arguing. It's like, why don't you? Because you spend more time with him than you do with me, and I'm supposed to be your lover and whatnot. And Deku would get annoyed, and what would happen is that he would. I guess. I guess Sammy would be doing his own thing because he's probably like the mechanic of the group. Yeah, Sammy's like the mechanic of the group. So yeah, and then he would notice something, ink. He would notice ink that's coming from the wall. Plot inconvenience. He would notice ink. He was like, "What's this?" Well, I guess it wouldn't be coming from the wall, but it'd be coming from the floor. Cause let's say it opened like when you press the right thing, like the floor opens up and it comes out. His as in canon, he looks like that. So yeah, as he looks at the floor like he noticed something. He notices an outline or something. He notices a square outline. What is this? I just know. As Alice Angel's still arguing with him and whatnot. He's like, "What is this?" He goes on the ground, not like kind of not kneels, but kind of like crouches. This isn't my ink. This is weird. He smells a familiar smell. Boris. Why does it smell like Boris? And let's say they did have some issues, because let's say there's a natural disaster. Just saying. No, let's say it was like the one for all fight, all for one and one for all fight. So cities are being, let's say the shockwave is a bit bigger, so creating a somewhat of of an earthquake somewhat, and the building, the studios start to shake, and triggering the function of Boris's popping out of the ground. And what happens is that Deku sees this thing. He's just shocked and just broken. What did they do to you, my friend? My poor friend. What did they do to you? As even though Alice didn't like Boris, she would also be shocked and a little bit upset that they did this. But who would be the maddest would be Bendy. As I'll say Sammy would know. Because, not know, but, he'd be coming in right now. He's like, "Hey, guys, what you..." Oh, my God. What happened to Boris? As he would run up and try to check for Boris's pulse. And look for mechanics or anything of him living. And he'll find nothing. And let's say the creators, they just let's say they do have some things on everyone. So as the creators come out of nowhere, and what would happen is that, well, I guess you found Boris. You found a person. You found him snooping around too much, and that's what happened. As something inside Deku just flicks. You did this. Why? He was getting very bad reviews. People kept on saying he looked like Goofy. So, we can't have that now. Haha. You didn't have to kill him. As Deku starts to melt in a fashion of, becoming not Monster Bendy, but, Evil Bendy. The one you see in the background. He becomes that. You. How dare you? As his voice becomes distorted. Will end you all. As he rushes. As Sammy and Alice try to hold him back. As that's when Alice gets half of her face just distorted, I guess, or just melted in a sense. As she touches it, and she that happens. And what would happen to I guess nothing really would happen to Sammy due to him not being a full character, because he technically is out of ink, so he wouldn't have much of an effect, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, I guess actually I say that was where I guess when Sammy touched Deku, or when Sammy, went to hold back Deku's parts of, Deku or Bendy starts to, not absorb him, but kind of, overtake half of his body, giving him some of the memories that him and, Deku had as humans, as that is where he will get, his addiction from. Sheep, I must serve you to him, kind of, type-esque way. As, they're trying to hold him back, and, Alice is screaming now, because I guess, would it really hurt? Because, I mean, yeah. I guess it would hurt, so, yeah. And, Deku would just go on a rampage, killing, I guess, would it be killing? Or just absorbing them? Yeah, I guess it'd be killing. He'd just killing them now. He would just be, like, everyone in the entire, just, practically, studio would just be obliterated. Not obliterated, but, like, those who aren't, bad will be turned into, those goons. I guess none of them will really die, but yeah. I guess they technically would. So what would happen is that they'll be turning into, bendy goons. The dude with, the little, like, just, if you played the game, the goons, what I'm talking about. So yeah. The goons, he throws them into the ink machine. How about this? As he he one by one he throws people into the the ink machine. As the last one is Joy Drew. And Joy Drew will end up becoming the what was it? He'll end up becoming the the camera thing, the camera dude. The dude who has the camera as a face. Yeah, that one. The camera as a face. So Joy Drew will be stuck in ink machine as it grinds and whatnot, grinds and destroys his bones, turning him into the camera dude. So yeah. After a while, everyone in the entire place would just disappear. And after years, I guess, Deku would find, or I guess somehow Deku would find a way to keep the Joy Drew Studios open. So yeah. And yeah, that's practically when everything went downhill. As they technically, Deku's more in like a evil like state, or he's trying to gain his thoughts and whatnot, and he starts to shift in and out of his normal bendy stage into his evil stage. So he's forming in and out of that stage, and practically he would, how would I say it, yeah, a lot of things would happen, practically. And what would happen next is that, due to, let's say there was one person who used to work there, but, retired. Let's say this was David Shield. Because, he got enough money to, make his own company and whatnot, and, become, the great almighty David Shield, have his own island and whatnot, practically. So, yeah. At that point, he would be given his own island. So, yeah. And what would happen after this? Because I'm pretty sure after this, the entire studio would just be into goons. Until, people try to, how would you say? People would try to go inside the place and check up on them, but end up either dying and becoming goons, or just dying or being absorbed by Bendy, I guess. So yeah. think I can only make one more video after this. But anyways, yeah. Everyone's just, as everything goes in canon, there will be the multiplies where, you know, there's a good version of Alice Angel, good version of Boris. Well, technically another version since Boris was already good. So wait, wouldn't that be 3 versions of Boris technically? The one that died, the one that helps you out, and then, you know, dies by Alice as Alice turns him into a monster, and then there'll be the mechanical Boris. So yeah, there'll be like 3 versions of Boris, 2 versions of Alice, and like 0 versions of Sammy besides being his own self, I guess. Oh yeah, and being like, I guess technically Deku would, or Bendy would be all his versions of himself. So yeah, he would try, like, after his rage, he would no longer know the concept of thinking. So he would just act on instinct, as, you know, all he wants to do now is just become perfection once again. As what would happen is that slow but surely, after Sammy finds memories of past, they'll be distorted, like his memories will be distorted into images that are distorted, so yeah. He would find Bendy eventually, but Bendy wouldn't be able to kill, like, he would be able to attack Alice, but wouldn't be able to kill her. Injure her, yes, but kill her, no. But Bendy wouldn't be able to kill nor harm nor flippin' try to do anything with Sammy. His instincts wouldn't allow it, or more like memories trying to not allowing him to. So yeah, he would just avoid Sammy at all cost. So, you know, he's trying to, you know, the ones who are, you know, inklings are just, you know, he's just trying to flippin' absorb them to, you know, once more become perfect. Cause there's a lot of flipping people. There's like a good 1,000. Cause I did believe I said 3 floors, or 5 floors. I think, I can't remember. I think it was 3 floors and then plus a basement, 2 basements. So I think it was 5. So yeah, there's a lot. There's like a good 1,000, probably more than 1,000 people in there. At least a good 3,000 or so. So yeah, a lot of people working in there. And all of them got turned into flippin' goons as now they're being absorbed. Those without books would just become, you know, the normal goons. The ink goons, practically the normal ink goons that have just to attack. As Deku would have all control over, you know, the things. Certain parts of, you know, anything with the ink machine, anything around the ink machine, he will be able to control, like the goons and whatnot around the ink machine. But I'll say in the entranceway or near the entranceway, the narrator, I think, the camera dude with the camera head was called, he would control like one of the floors, as Bendy would also control the floor. Alice would control the lower floor. As now, everyone controls their own floor practically. So yeah. So there's about like 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess the final floor would be kind of like the war zone between all of them. Because, I mean, Alice now has that hatred towards Bendy and, you know, trying to perfect herself due to her personality being based upon her beauty and whatnot. So, yeah. She now is on that Sasuke hatred. As, you know, he would, like, anything above, or, I mean, anything below, or anything at the Sammy floor, Bendy would just avoid. Like, he wouldn't even teleport down there, knowing that Sammy has the lower floors. So yeah, he wouldn't even try to go anywhere near. So Bendy's practically stuck on, like, I guess either the very bottom floor Or like the middle floor, practically. I guess he'll be on the very bottom floor. So yeah, as Boris controls. Nah, because I'm pretty sure Alice would control the last floor. Hold up. Alice will control the last floor. Or near the last floor. Boris will control the third floor. Sammy would control the second. Bendy will control the first. Narrator would control the last floor. Or not the last floor, but like the first floor. Wait. Okay, narrator first. Bendy second. Boris third. Sammy fourth. And Alice last. Fifth. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, so Bendy would just everyone would just roam around, I guess. They would have their own floors, but they'll still roam around in each of their floors. Sammy is trying to, reluctantly still trying to find Bendy. As Bendy's trying to avoid him, so and then he eventually goes up to the narrator floor. That entire Bendy showdown will appear. As the narrator gets his butt whooped by Bendy. Nike and Cannon. And, I guess everything will happen in canon, like how Boris, or at least this Boris, would become, after a human comes in. Or, I guess, not David, because I feel like somebody else would be a lot more better to know. Who's a good character, but, let me change the character. Instead of David, it would be, for purposes, let's say it's either Gran Torino or you know what? Let's say it's Aizawa. So let's say it's let's say Aizawa had it as like a side job. Eventually wanted to become a hero, became a hero, and kind of left. But then he got a letter from the society wanting him to come back, or like at least want him to say hello for like the final time before leave forever. But Aizawa would be taking place as the character, or being taken place as the player. Aizawa would be the player, and everything will happen as canon. As everything still happens, as the voice modules or voice tapes would still be recorded and whatnot. Aizawa finding the mysteries on what happened, seeing the beatdown that narrator got practically, and everything, to Alice dying, to everything. But the difference is, instead of Monster Bendy looking at all the cameras and fading away back into reality, it would actually be a thing. So yeah. So when Deku, Monster Bendy chases, Aizawa down, due to, let's say Aizawa, he's not allowed to have, his scarf for reasons. So yeah. He would leave his scarf behind, so he can only run and whatnot. So yeah. He would eventually meet Monster Bendy, as the chair scene. As Monster Bendy is formed. As it chases after him like the flippin' rhino that this man is. This Monster Bendy can teleport and everything. Like, he just goes ham, just teleporting everywhere. Just going in random directions, practically. Eventually, he would hit, all of the... And, like, I guess those cameras will be all about the past when he is. I guess Sammy would still, be absorbed by Bendy. Actually, no, because I guess... Yeah, I guess. But from what I'm going to have planned, it's kind of like a defusion almost. So, yeah, what would happen is that instead of, memories, there'll be, instead of, the history or cartoons of Bendy, there would be the memories of his memories. There'll be his memories and, everything he's gone through. As he would start to shrink, as his monster form will start to shrink. Or, I remember everything. Because, he'll be in, like, kind of his entire, body in that. The entire events will happen while his body's on autopilot as, he's fighting his emotions. And, he finally remembers everything. His human life, everything. As, he defuses with Sammy. He fixes, I guess, everything in the, Joy Studios would be revived. Go back to the normal ways, all 3 Boruses will come back. Not the narrator, because I guess he wouldn't really be the thing. But I guess, the most important ones, like Alice would be back. Both, I guess, all Alice's. Like, every version of the characters are alive now, except for the narrator. So, yeah. As they all gain their human memories back. At least, the people with the souls, at least. Or, the main ones with the soul. What did I do? And, he will hate himself, but, Sammy would give him a hug. It's okay. It's okay. As Aizawa is like, what the flip happened when I was gone? Like, this man literally got trapped, flipping knocked out, everything. Like, the entire 8 yards. 9 yards. Sammy would also, apologize. I'm sorry that I knocked you out and tied you, and it was about to kill you with the axe. I'm sorry. As everything would happen in canon. And, eventually Aizawa would, how would you say, invite Deku to UA. Because due to magical demonic inferences, Deku's birth, or, Bendy's birth, would I guess Bendy would be young, because, kind of be isolated, so, his monster self, his evil self would be old, but, his once human self would be reversed back to, his prime state as a teen. Turning into, the human Bendy you see here in the top right corner. As Bendy accepts the offer. Bendy, Alice, they all accept the offers. But, they gotta ask Bendy first, because, Bendy technically the boss still, so yeah. The abilities I have with this studios is limitless. I control everything in it and everything that's inside of it. Any instances of ink that relies here is controlled by me. But I can't clean up the mess. The mess stays forever. I can't really control that. I can manipulate it to a certain extent, but I can't fully control it, technically. depending on which room I'm in. If I'm in the ink machine room, I can do whatever the flip I feel like. But if I'm in any other room, I can't really do anything without the ink machine, so yeah. Or anything major. As you know, they would just be, as I would just take Deku outside, explain what happened in the past, flipping who knows how long. So a decent amount of years, I see. The secrets that happen here lie. Only if this never happened, I could have had a peaceful dream. Now, due to my new sense of traits, I don't even know if I can pass on. Hopefully, when I truly forgive myself, then I can pass on. Which is practically going to happen in, the end of the series. He's going to, eventually forgive himself for what he did. And, pass on to, heaven. Since it technically wasn't his fault. So, yeah. So, yeah. As they open the doors to the studios, as one door opens, another, or as one door closes, another one opens. And that is where I'm gonna end off. I had tried a lot of things with this. There'll still be references to a lot of the characters. I'll just have to do more research on it since it's been a couple years since I played the game. So yeah. So I'll see you all in the next video. The next video would probably what if Deku was a Hollow Part 1. So yeah. Hopefully you all had a good day. Remember, subscribe, like, and leave a comment in the video. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.